Oh, I don't have the VTuber. Oh no. Little Felix. Oh, there he is. Okay, we gotta... Oh my goodness. We almost didn't have Little Felix. We couldn't do that. That would be really sad. I'm just kidding. So, give me 1 second. I'm going to make sure I have the comments loaded. Okay, sorry, I was laughing at a comment on one of my videos. I apologize for the random laugh. I can't believe I have to apologize for that. Such as living in the society. Alright, let's see. Yes. There we go. Okay. There is the stream. Let's see if I can load the comments. Why does it always default to top messages? I want to read what people actually write. Okay, that's broken. Yep, little Felix was saved. I saved him by very carefully schizo-analyzing the situation. Okay, I don't want to be serious about that shit tonight. I'm here to find some plateaus. We gotta get this noticed and get like a bunch of people speedrunning the 1,000 Plateaus speedrun. That would be insane. Can you imagine if that was a speedrunning category? Like, it would take a long time to complete it. Maybe we'd make it like, okay, I got it. We call it 1,000 Plateaus speedrunning category, but it only has 15 plateaus. And people are like, why? And I'm like, I don't know. Ask the Lizenguatari why they only included 15. Guess they ran out of time. That sucks. Actually, I have no AC either. But the temperatures have been going down. It's not as hot, probably. Oh, come on. Oh, that's right. The stars aren't up yet. Yeah, it would be really funny. Like, if you reduced it down to 15, I think people would actually, like, try it, you know? Because, like, 1,000 is a little too crazy. Like, the intent of this stream is to just have something to do while just chatting with people. So, like, 1,000 is, like, when we reach 1,000, it's gonna be crazy. We're gonna, oh shit, you know what? I should promote this stream on, like, Minecraft forums and just be like, yeah, I'm doing a weird speedrun where I find 1,000 plateaus. That'd be a really funny way to, like, get people talking about this shit. Oh my god. Well, yeah, but that's the thing, don't you know? Like, the whole reason why I don't, like, settle anywhere is because I'm a nomad. So I've got the lore down. Ah, jeez. Thankfully, it wasn't as hot today where I live. It was really hot yesterday. Well, really hot, like, early in the season. You know how it is with global warming and everything. Alright. I should include that as a plateau. Okay. Oh, wow, I'm already at 32. We got a lot last time. Now I remember. Oh my god, can you imagine? That would be like... Can you imagine Ant Venom trying to explain, like, a DG reference? That would be genuinely hilarious. I would, like, have a clip of that on my channel. Like, I've watched some of these channels try to explain like basic trigonometry, and mind you, I'm not a math person. I'm not Deleuze, that's for sure. So like, you know, like I've listened to like these Minecraft like glitch channels trying to explain certain math concepts, and it's just crazy. Like what I can't remember what it was specifically. It was something I'd have to look up the comment. It was a while ago because I comment a lot on this channel, so you might see me around, and you'll see what kind of gamer content I'm like. Spoiler alert: I'm like super autistic with the gamer content. I apologize. I'm not. I'm not watching like enough bread tube, I guess. Triggernomics? What? But yeah. Okay, can I make this? Oh my god, I made it. That was kind of cool. I guess that's what the kids call an MLG moment. It's funny because there's a guy who works with me who like I think genuinely forgets that I'm in my 30s. Like he was just like, "Yeah, back in my day, we had the atheists arguing with each other on YouTube." I'm like, "Yeah, I was there. I watched it. It was like really cringy in retrospect." Like, nah, yeah. Ooh, I don't remember that. I don't want to pay that kind of person money. They'd probably overcharge me like they did, like everything Minecraft related. It's kind of weird because like I like. Oh wait, I should keep these up so I don't accidentally count them twice. That was stupid of me. Okay, whatever. I guess I am counting these twice. I don't care. You know what? Faciality machine go burr. I don't give a shit. It would be really funny though to get like random Minecraft people watching this stream and like constantly telling me about how I don't know the new Minecraft lore, and I have to explain to them like, look, I got this game before you were born. You need to understand this. Like, that's so weird to say, but it's true. It's like, holy crap, you're so young. I just finished my next script slash paper, but right now I'm trying to like program a little thing that allows me to automate the production of the PDFs for distribution. So like if you want to print it out or something, you know, I'm trying to make that easier on my website and figure out a way to automate it. So that would be cool. And what I'm building is coming together. Like I have a version that has it in 2 columns, and I have it in a version in 1 column, and I want to see if I can have like a horizontal mode, because then I can kind of build towards like building like a half sheet kind of thing. So it's very cool. Um, but yeah, I actually, you know what I should do? I should make that like a separate a separate project on GitHub, and then people can use that to build their own PDFs in their Jekyll pipelines. Okay, I think I just like started autistically talking about programming. Like like I was just like hyper fixated like fuck there for a second. Oh my gosh, I keep forgetting. But yeah, basically what I was saying in more like less programmy terms is basically I'm using a program that automates the website creation, right? It creates something called a static website, and it's really easy to set up once you like know what you're doing with the command line. That's the exclamation point. Like, hey, you need to know how to use a computer. Sorry. And that's like people act like that's a bad thing, but it's like a lot of very skilled and intelligent people don't give a fucking shit about learning how to use a computer and don't want to spend the time learning how to do it. And that's really important to understand, because people are just they're going to take care of their needs in the way that communicates with them the most possible. Yeah, exactly. Like, you have to be like a huge nerd to talk anything serious about programming. Like, I think that's part of the reason why I get really annoyed with oh, we should use Copilot. Like, I don't want to talk about that fucking stupid shit. I want to talk about how the machine works and how I built it and how that was the dumbest thing ever. Like, you don't want to talk about that? Like, maybe you want to show off and make yourself sound like a cool hotshot. That's fine, I guess. But, like, you don't want to talk about that either? Like, I'd love to listen to you tell me about, like, how you did something cool. But none of these guys want to talk about that. They just want to talk about stupid Python script kiddie shit. Like, ooh, I figured out how to plug in a plugin. And that plugin calculates how fast I can print money. It's the worst. So I guess there is a way to talk about programming without being... But that's the thing. It's still autistic. It's still autistic, yeah. I'll have to get back to you on that one. I seriously don't blame them, because computers, like, it's stupid that, like, they're trying to make it so that everything flows through this stupid fucking surface. Like, that's not how everything works, if you, like, seriously, if you have, like, any interest in traditional art whatsoever, it's just immediately obvious, like, on an intuitive level, why everything isn't computer. Like, I'm sorry, Donald Trump, not everything computer. Only something computer, and something computer, yeah, sorry. But, yeah, like, I don't blame people for not wanting to do that, because, like, why does a person who focuses on, like, how language is used in literature, why do they have to learn this stupid thing that's literally, like, they have to pay for as a product just to be able to communicate with people? It's freaking stupid. It's kind of funny, because I only went to community college for, like, probably, like, 12, 13 semesters or so. And then I dropped out because, and it's not because it's mostly because I decided focusing on my career was more important than focusing on my education, which was probably the right choice at the time, because it was not a very good education, and it was kind of a waste of my time. I didn't really learn that much there. But I did make, and I made connections, but they didn't last. So it's like, I didn't make any friends. I didn't, learn anything really valuable. I'd say it was way more of a waste of my time than even grade school. But there was a few moments that kind of stood out, but, like, I think that's the thing. Like, in grade school, at least for my generation, there were at least a few teachers that stood out and actually, like, really felt like they made a difference in your life. And I didn't even have a good selection of that, but I did have teachers in grade school who were like that, but none in, like, community college, because they're all, like, they're not passionate enough, because a lot of them just are getting a job, which I don't blame them for, but, like, it's kind of hard to find good community college professors. But, yeah, no, you saying projector reminded me about how when I was in high school, they did use projectors and the VHS tapes. They'd show the VHS tapes, because, like, the thing is that it's not just that they're dinosaurs with technology, but they also don't get a huge budget, so they kind of have to like, you know, keep using the same material if it works. Like, as long as it's not like, you know, like the entire curriculum gets turned upside down, why not just reuse what they used in the 90s? Which is really funny because in my education, they didn't even teach us history of the United States past World War II, which is hilarious in retrospect. It like says a lot. Okay, no more plateaus, I guess. And there's a jungle over there. Oh, man. Okay. I hope my stream looks a little better, too. I'm trying to, I tried running it at a bit of a higher bit rate, and hopefully it still looks decent. So. But, yeah, I'm really excited about my, my next project. So I'm going to try to get the PDF thing working. Probably, like, I think I'll have it finished by tonight. It's not really, it's going in a good direction, and I'm almost done getting, like, the draft out. But, oh man, this is, like, surrounded by a jungle. Great. Yeah, it's a little weird how they're trying to make, it's a little weird how the school district was trying to make that true. It was a little weird. That's, I will say this though, like, I think I grew up in a really weird school district. Like, because, like, other Americans have told me that what I've experienced is not normal, even in the area. So I just wonder if they just had, like, a really, really weird, like, people running it, like some weird Christian fundamentalists. Which is kind of unusual, actually, for Michigan, but it's probably a lot less unusual than people thought it was. It's kind of weird not being in Michigan. I kind of miss it. I miss my home state. I miss all the rocks. You could say it rocked. Well, it didn't rock. There was a lot of things that sucked about it, but it is what it is. I wonder if I made it a big circle. That'd be funny. I don't even care. Real nomad hours. What I gotta do is I gotta get the Minecraft community to the point where they're, like, making a video that's, like, explaining the theory behind the 1,000 Plateau run. It's just, like, something stupid like that. Hey, Plastic Pills, I have an idea for a video. Oh my god. I don't think I've ever even, like, interacted with their content. I genuinely just don't, like, engage with 90% of it, because it's just, like, I'm doing something different, so I don't really, I don't know. It's very hard to explain that connection. But I try to keep my YouTube recommends visible whenever I, like, record YouTube as, like, a part of my video as kind of a joke, though, because, like, I like to make fun of myself. I think it's just really funny, like, when I look at it sometimes. There was, like, one time where I recorded it for a very serious video. I don't remember what it was about, but it was very serious. And the recommends included, like, this mix of, like, Sonic Frontiers music with, like, Linkin Park. You know what? Okay, you know what is upsetting about that Dragon Riff? You know, like, there's a book on Amazon that is literally just, like, it's claims to like educate kids, you know, on like it claims to educate like kids on like what is it, like Marxist like economics or whatever, and like teaches them what it's about and stuff. But like no, that's not what it does. Apparently, from what I've heard, I've never read it, but I've heard it's literally just a transcript of the Communist Manifesto in Minecraft font. And then it says something like at the end about how like to stop stealing his diamonds or something, or some stupid joke, and it's just literally a punchline. And it's just like it's a funny novelty, but I don't know, like it's kind of a cursed object as well. And it's just like Minecraft is just, I don't know, it's a phenomenon, that's for sure. I think like what's weird about it too is just being like just playing it for a long time. Like it's just a relaxing game for me. Like I don't take it seriously. I've never learned how to play it properly, even though I've owned it for like God, like 13 years now. Like oh my God. Jesus Christ, it really has been like 13 years. I bought it like right before they added jungles. Like that's how old I am with this game. I remember when they added jungles. Oh yeah, Ian, I these like I hate admitting it because I know like there's like I'm like the worst thing. I think like for music snobs, like I make them allergic because I have like the most like stupid taste on the planet. Like they think, oh, the guy who listens to Guattari, he must like have some real like fucking like serious shit that he listens to, and here I am listening to fucking Linkin Park x Sonic the Hedgehog, and like it's stupid because I'm just like yep. And I have no shame. I mean, it's just like I don't know. I wish I had better. I wish I had like more expanded music taste. So, cause like it's fun to find weird shit like that, but like also like I wish I had like more. I should listen to like more jazz and shit. Cause like whenever I interact with like, okay, whenever I interact with Guattari's tastes, I'm just like, oh my God, this guy knows exactly what I like. Like I have to just check out everything that he likes because he knows exactly what I like. Yeah, there's a delay. I don't know how long it is. Yeah, well, it's also like I think like what's cool about the Sonic music is that it works really good with sampling, and I think that's why it works because like it's just like, you know, you can make something really like depending on the game soundtrack that you're using, you can do a lot with it in different styles and stuff. How is he 21st century? He died in 1992. I mean, I guess his theory is like, you know, gaining popularity in the 21st century, but he died before the 21st century. His death always makes me really sad. Because he literally died of a heart attack. It was just like he went too fast. And it's like, it's funny to say that, but it's also really sad. And he's like such a, like you look at him and you're just like, holy shit, this guy was fucking crazy and amazing. And like, it's like, I don't know, like you see it and it's like, you see the, like, sometimes, I would watch the memorial video that's posted on YouTube from like what they made in the 90s. And, you're just like, wow, they really lost a real one with that guy. Like, he was, like, totally just crazy and nuts. But, like, he was also just fascinating and had a lot of very interesting things to say. And he supported artists and, like, marginalized people and shit. So it was like, he's a cool guy. And, yeah. That's the title of a song from King Crimson. Well, yeah, I mean, I just told you that I have pretty shit music tastes. Like, I'm talking about listening to a song that's mixed with fucking Sonic the Hedgehog. Okay? That is pretty funny, though. Feel free to take that out of context. That'd be really funny. I should actually listen to more King Crimson, because I feel like I've listened to, like, at least, like, a couple of their, like, really well-known songs, but I can't remember anything right now. And I'm really embarrassed now, because I should have listened to more of it. But that's not how my music taste went. I promise I don't just listen to Sonic music. That's more kind of like a joke and a novelty. Brown egg. What the fuck is a brown egg? Oh, it's the new eggs. I don't give a shit. But yeah, no. The problem was that I was like when I was going crazy, I got really obsessed with like a 70s pop rock band, and like I was like having like delusions about how like they were super important and shit, and that kind of occupied most of my listening time for like 5 years, and then I went crazy, and I've been slowly opening my taste again. It's crazy to talk about this because it's just like it's been kind of life-changing for me, so it's kind of weird that, you know, something that's kind of just like, oh shit, fuck, I don't know the fucking pop culture reference. You know, I don't understand the fucking music reference. Fuck it. But yeah, that was a weird time in my life. That's when I learned how a lot of weird shit happens in the world, I think is the polite way to put it. Like, how I learned that the world was fucked up, basically. Oh shit, that's stupid. That's not how that works. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, alright, I fixed it. Alright, math. We got this. Oh yes, we've got this. There we go. Alright. That was some expert Minecrafting right there. That's 13 years of experience at this game. What the fuck? I have a bundle? Okay, yeah, I'm using that. I guess I'm gonna stick this in there. There we go. Oh, wait. No, that's not how you use it. Oh, shit. Whatever. Am I Dolly Fresh? I have no idea who that is. If you're asking about my VTube avatar, it's based on a photograph of the French philosopher Felix Guattari, and yeah, where he's wearing like a black shirt and a white scarf. Oh yeah, that's good. That's not just me. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, people don't understand about like dealing with. I was talking about this in a server, because you know, it kind of came up, and it's like people really do not understand that when you recover from this kind of illness, that you don't really recover. You kind of okay, you know what? I'll count this as a plateau. You don't really recover. You kind of just learn how to deal with it. It's like, you know, a lot of other kind of illnesses where you just have to deal with it for the rest of your life or whatever. And you just kind of get to a point where it's like, well, you know, I still want to do stuff in my life. And, like, I'm going to try to do stuff. Like, you know, I feel like a lot of people feel that way eventually. And they just kind of, like, start figuring out some things that work out. Oh, it's just the way the VTuber thing works. And I thought it was funny, so... Basically, it hears like a certain volume of me starting to talk, and then it bounces, and then it has like a cooldown or something. I don't know how to actually configure it properly, but I don't really care that much. Alright. I'm a little confused by what you're trying to say, Dreamer, but you can, like, maybe if you rephrase it, I might be able to understand it a little better. It almost sounds kind of like you're saying, like, the structure of, like, the PVC pipe provides you with, like, a sense of self or something. I'm just a little confused, that's all. I think it just needs a little clarification. Oh, I'm glad you like my essay videos. I'm actually, I just finished a really cool piece that I'm gonna start recording tonight after this video. I'm gonna make my dinner after this stream, and then I'm going to record it, and it's about disability. It's a really good one, and it's more about like my personal experiences than it is about like someone else's theory. So so but yeah, it's basically so a little bit about my personal life is that I started walking with a cane recently, and I started doing it because like I would come home from doing basic errands and stuff, and my legs were just torn to pieces. I just couldn't. It wasn't just that I was tired. It was like I couldn't get around, and it was like after a few months, like I started getting more fit in other parts of my body, and I started feeling like more like able to get around and stuff in terms of my energy levels, but like my legs just weren't catching up. And I decided to start walking with a cane because like I have it, and then like also it's really hard for me to walk, and it's changed my life significantly. It's improved my life a lot, and it was kind of hard to get over it at first because it was just like I'm really concerned about people judging me because I have been judged for using that cane before. I have been judged for using that cane before, but the thing is that how do I put it? It's really the benefit that it provides is just crazy. It's like all of a sudden I can actually get places without being like tired when I come home, and I can do things when I get home. I can cook, I can write, I can clean up things and stuff, which I've kind of fallen behind a bit on, but I can work on that tomorrow. But yeah, and like basically all of a sudden I have energy for things, and it's just something that's been on my mind a lot. So it's a very cool thing. I think people will like it. I think people will see the title of it and they'll be like, okay, this is good. This is good. Do I have a trust fund? No. I have a Patreon. You can throw money at my Patreon if you like. But no, I don't have a trust fund. Me into photography. Sometimes I do it, but I'm not like really skilled at like the technical side of it. I think like photography is really cool as an art though. And I think it's underappreciated because like people think that what makes photography good is that it's like subjects of real life, but it's really all the framing and like the lighting and all of the technique that's required to actually produce like a narrative when you see a photo, and how to do that in varying like a lot of times when you're a photographer you can't like set up all the lighting and stuff. You just have to know what to do and know when to shoot. Pornography. No, sorry. I'm pretty boring like that. Yeah, I know. Like, why is it weird when a young person uses a walking cane? Like, maybe I don't want to be, like, all fucked up when I'm older, and maybe a walking cane is a way to prevent that from happening. Ooh, nice. Treasure chest. But yeah, like, there's nothing wrong with it, and there is a cool vibe that comes with it. That was, like, part of what kind of pushed me over the edge, actually. Like, honestly, like, it was like, hey, I kind of feel like a badass with this. Oh shit, what the hell was that? That's funny. Surprise! This is part of the reason why I play Minecraft. Oh, a name tag. I mean, what am I gonna use it for though? You know what, I'll do it randomly. Guys, I have an idea. We should use the name tag. Like, we should just like people should make suggestions for the name tag, and I'll use it on a mob. Yeah, normalize blind canes too. Oh my god. It's like complicated with blind canes too, because like, okay, when you have a walking cane, there's a very big difference between like the perception of a walking cane and a blind cane, because like, oh shit. Walking canes are like it's not too unusual to like see somebody with a walking cane. And I think like there's like an image that's like of more normality when people see like a walking cane, right? And then with blind canes though, it's like when you see a blind cane, you know they're blind and they can't see stuff, and they need certain help with things and stuff. And so like when people see and know what a blind cane is, like, you know, yeah. How old am I? Oh, I'm in my 30s. I know I don't sound it, but that's because I'm a transgener. Become sugarcane pilled. Make the sugarcane farm so that you can have sugar canes and walk up the sugarcane mountains. Oh shit, I need to build another pickaxe. The nomad life. Grums? You're terrible. Why would you... Oh, wait, it's Grum. Oh, okay. I don't know the difference between that. I'm too old. Ed, Ed, and Eddie is my people. I actually don't even remember much about that show. I'm not even a real nostalgia. I don't know what the smiley face with Nirvana means. I'm sorry, guys. If you're gonna execute me for something like that. Okay. Still in the desert, so not really any mobs. Maybe I'll find some rabbits or something sometime, but I don't think... Do mesas just not have mobs? I don't know. I don't want to do it in like a hostile mob. I want to do it in a passive mob. I think something that like Guattari political literature really needs to kind of like figure out. I just realized this. It needs to figure out the difference between like eternal revolution and like just constant revolution, like is seen in like the molecular processes. That way, like, we could finally beat the Trotskyist allegations. That's the difference part. The repetition part is sharing my shitty paper. Oh my god. It's like so weird too, cause like with Minecraft, because like Minecraft when I started playing it, like people didn't really see it as a kids game. Like it kind of was, but like it was more kind of like a undergrad college nerd game. It was like like, hey, look at this weird game. It's really popular. Have you heard of it? Like that kind of thing that you might talk about in like a coffee shop. Never beating the Trotskyists. Can you explain to me what I meant about the Trotskyist stuff? Okay. I'm basically what I'm trying to say is that like how does Guattari like how does his political science of like molecular revolution um how does it have like how does it not just keep going forever, right? Like how does it actually reach a tangible endpoint, right? Like you can't just keep like I'm not, and like to be clear, I'm not like the best political scientist. Okay, so I could be wrong about like how I'm characterizing Trotsky, but I'm talking more about Guattari here. And what I'm trying to say is that how is molecular revolution kind of actually like meet like an actual political target as opposed to just oh everything's transforming all the time? Isn't that just Trotsky? Like that's what people are gonna ask. Do I cosplay as Doctor House? Um, that's funny. I do not look like Doctor House. That would be really funny. Um, that would be really really funny, but no, sadly. Um, I mean, we all know who I'm really cosplaying. Let's get real. All right. Where's the jungle? All right. Ha! I don't even think like see like I don't even think that like Trotskyists even know what they're doing anymore. Whenever I see them, I'm just like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" Like he was, and he got beaten up for it by like French Maoists, which is so funny. I what's funny is I found out while I was like breezing through like psychoanalysis and transversality. He has like he talks about like his teenage years and his 20s where he's like fighting with like French Maoists and shit. And he like talks about the lore. That's the stuff I'm really here for. Pew. And I need to get back to that book because I want to, after I publish, my next video, which I decided to do as kind of like I call it a video zine because it's kind of like a video version of something that would be like in a zine or something. And, but it's kind of like it's kind of like that. And then after that, I want to do a historical piece on Guattari and his involvement with homosexual movements. But I really hope I can get it out for Pride, but I don't think so. Oh. I wouldn't say it was commie high school. It was more like the funny thing is it was more like commie extracurricular activities. Oh my gosh, I am like getting slammed with plateaus. This is crazy. I know if I make this like a speedrunning category and I like keep doing it for like 2 years or something and I get some strategy, there will be people who will be like, okay, we got to figure out how to do the 15 plateau category. But I would totally recommend people reading Psychoanalysis and Transversality. It's like if you are past the part of like reading, like, understanding how to read Chaosophy, and you're like, okay, I think I got this. All right, I think I understand what he's talking about when he talks about, like, women and, like, his critique of psychoanalysis and, like, his critique of the anti-psychiatrist. I think I got a good handle on things. You got to check out Psychoanalysis and Transversality. That book is crazy fire. He wrote this when his hands just spewed fire out of his fingers. Like, okay, to put into perspective how awesome this fucking book is, he literally talks about, like, he's talking about trying to solve a problem in therapy. And the analogy he uses is talking about, like, defending, like, police lines in like, against a police line in protests. Like, oh, these cops are gonna fucking, like, fuck us up. Like, what do we do? Kind of thing. And that he's talking about explaining therapy through this. Like, as opposed to the other way around. It's so fire. It's like, holy shit, how does this guy exist? Like, he's not perfect by any means. Dear God, he's not fucking perfect. But he's just, like, on a league of his own. And then the way he talks about sex workers in that one quote that I showed, where he's basically just like, why don't we just analyze, like, them? Like, you know? Oh, this is the one I was at earlier. But, like, why don't we just analyze what they have to say about the situation? I mean, they're literally on the front lines. Like, when you actually, like, listen to what he's saying in that way, you're like, oh, wait, this actually makes a ton of sense. Like, why aren't we? Oh, another name tag. No, I don't want the leaf litter. Give me the name tag. Give me name tag. Okay, good. All right, we gotta have votes for the names. Oh, shit, there's a skeleton down there. We gotta have votes for the names. Oh, we have 2 name tags. You know what that means we can do? Well, that means we could have, like, 2 mobs be Deleuze and Guattari. That's right. We got how do you guys think about that? What we gotta have it. What mob should it be, though? Should it be like wolves? Oh, you know what? We could tame wolves, and we could name them Deleuze and Guattari, and they could just follow us around, because you don't need to... You can be a nomad with wolves. Oh my god, I'm learning the strategy. These are some real gamer hours, guys. See, that makes other biomes actually tactical. You know, that makes the cold biomes not a huge waste of time, where you're just wandering around trying to figure out where the fuck to go. Because then you can... Oh my god, it's all coming together, guys. We got some real gamer strats. And then that makes the armadillos useful. 1 or many? Well, you gotta have at least 2, and 2 is already a crowd, so... I guess we're going with many. Oh shit, are you kidding? This is just a pool? Can't swim out of here? Ugh. Son of a bitch. A cat. Do they teleport and follow you like the dogs do? Because if they do, it might be a good idea to have a cat as well. And then we'll call him Felix. But we only have 2 name tags right now, so let's only use tamables for, like, name tags. That's a really fun thing to add to the run. That makes it a lot more fun to watch, I think. All right, let's see. One of the images I really like to actually play with regards to 1,000 Plateaus, and it's really excellent because it really plugs into the plateau imagery as well, is like a vulture flying from plateau to plateau, representing, like, lines of flight. I think that's a really good visualization that really, like, captures your eye. Okay, this is how we do it. All right. Oh yeah, that's right. The pufferfish does have a valid use. He is used for the potion of water breathing, but I don't think I'm gonna get around to brewing potions. So, all right, maybe I can find a not mesa with this river system. I got so obsessed with trying to find plateaus that when I realized I could do something else besides finding plateaus with my life, I realized I was so deep in plateau land and I had to find a new way to live my life. This adds a whole new dimension to the game. Okay, here's a regular desert, so I'm still in like really hot biomes and dry biomes. Alright, come on. There's the desert village. I don't need that though. I'm good on wheat. I don't need any more of that shit. Okay, yeah, I think I came this way earlier. So I think I know where I'm at now. At least I'm not playing on that huge biomes thing. Oh, I guess camels are like way more common now? There's like 3 of them already. That's crazy. But I do not want to tame camels. I am dead set on those wolves, because the wolves make a lot more sense. Okay. Alright. Oh, they do teleport? Sweet. I could add a cat later then, yeah. That would be useful to have. I don't have phantom spawning in this world, though. It's not like I'm gonna need the phantom membranes anyway. Fun fact, I've never actually beaten the Ender Dragon. I'm not that much of a gamer. I just don't have that game in me, I guess. Yes, I can be the Wolfman. That's pretty funny, honestly. I hope I can find, like, a cooler biome. Those are where the wolves spawn. Yeah, it really is. Like, when I found out that there was, like, an actual, like, end game to Minecraft that you could play, it was kind of like, okay, whatever. Like, the end is at least interesting now. Like, when I first played it, right, it was literally just the Ender Dragon fight. And then, like, you'd go back to just fight the Ender Dragon again. It was really kind of boring. Okay, these are humid biomes at least. And, like, they added a lot to the end to make it more interesting. And it's still really barren, but, like, it's way more interesting than it was. Like, it was literally just empty at first. And I think that makes sense, considering it's literally called The End. Like, I guess it's, like, they wanted to have it be, like, the actual end of the game. But then, you know, people didn't want to do that, because... Yeah, just go to 1,000 plateaus. You don't need to go to the end. What's way more interesting than the end was the Farlands, because, like, the Farlands was a consequence of, like, floating point math and shit. That was really fucking interesting, how it, like, impacted, like, how the map was created and everything at, like, very high values and shit. I don't remember how it works, actually, but it's very interesting. It's something to do with floating point math precision. Floating point math precision is, like, really fascinating. It's like especially with in terms of glitches, like and how it functions with like relative to like trying to achieve certain goals. So there's this one video that automates trying to crash. You've probably heard of it, crashing Super Mario 64 with the ticking clock animation thing, right? And ooh, this is gonna be rough, but I can get over there. But yeah, that one's a really cool video, and he shows how floating point math and how it's calculated at high values changes the strategy of trying to maximize and overflow the value. Very cool shit. This is why I love, like, I think that if you want to actually learn how like a computer works, it's actually like as like a amateur, right? Like it's probably the easiest to learn if you are motivated by like trying to understand how a video game works, because a video game, what makes a video game so useful in comparison to like other programming projects, right, is that with a video game you have like a very like intentional purpose with what you're trying to do with everything in the game. Like it's constructed very clearly how to play the game and like what you're trying to achieve and what goals you're having. Like, you know, you're watching this and you already know, like, okay, Felix is trying to do X, Y, and Z. You already know that because that's how the game is like encoded, right? And unlike something like a fucking Office program or a website, right, your extent of like interactions is both quite limited, right? Like we all know that Minecraft has a lot of, you know, you're gonna see the most of the content in Minecraft pretty quickly, right? Oh shit, I need bones in order to tame the fucking wolves. God damn it, I'm a fucking idiot. I played this game for 15 years, or 13 years, and kids who are literally 13 years old would tell me, hey, you're a ding-dong, you need to kill skeletons to get bones. Oh, yeah, you're totally right about that. But that's what makes it so fascinating. Like, it's not that it's complicated, it's that it's like so simple but so weird and wild. And like, you know, that's what's cool about it. I was actually thinking about something similar to this, like impact of simplicity, right? And just crazy out there ideas, right? And their impact on history and stuff. And I was thinking, ooh, there's glow squid down there. Don't really care, but it's cool to see them. But what for example makes let me see, like what would you call it? Oh, shit. Oh yeah, I was thinking to myself about Charles Darwin and his impact on like ecology and our understanding of evolution and things like that, right? And like, I think what's really fascinating about Darwin is that, you know, he wasn't immediately accepted, and there was a reason for that. It wasn't just because people were stubborn in their ways. It was because like people really needed time to really wrap their heads around this kind of new idea, because, you know, and its consequences, and really understand like what impact it would have on, you know, just so many different fields and questions. And, you know, it's probably the second most important book that was published in the 19th century. But you know, it was just really interesting to me, because like part of the problem with like, you know, what has Darwin has created, right, is that like the discourse surrounding Darwin is very limited, right? And I was thinking about this today because I was thinking about the whole model of the eye that he talks about. If you've ever, I've only read parts of Origin of Species, but if you ever read it, one of the most famous parts is where he talks about how the evolution of the eye could have occurred, right? And basically what he explains is that the idea that the evolution of the eye is extremely complicated is not really true. You know, it can be created in a very simple way. Hey, G-Not, I'm explaining Darwin right now. Ha! But yeah, I was explaining the Darwin eye evolution thing. So basically, you know, Darwin Darwin is essentially proposes this model for the eye, right? What the fuck was that? I guess that was a fish bonking me. But yeah, he proposes this model for how the eye could have evolved, right? And what I was thinking about was like, I think what's weird about the discourse surrounding this idea is that like nobody ever talks about like how this demonstrates like how various levels of vision in humans is also equally like partially valuable. Like, not only is it valuable for a organism like a worm to have like eye spots or whatever, right? But it's also helpful for a human to be able to have some level of like visual sensory perception. Like, you better believe that people who have like very marginal amounts of vision even from birth use that shit, and they have they have like abilities that people who don't have any vision at all don't have, right? And it's just like really weird that like when we're talking about the disability in the context of evolution, that this thing is not really brought up. Like, it's not like you don't necessarily survive with like a specific amount of vision. Like, even in the wild, sometimes blind things can still exist. It's very rare, but it can happen. And part of what allows it to happen more with humans is that, we communicate with each other tips and tricks about how to deal with, being disabled. And it's just like interesting because it's like that analysis that Darwin observed like all that time ago. Yeah, sure, he was trying to explain how the eye evolved, and he probably wasn't thinking about humans with like varying levels of vision. But it's interesting how that insight still has value there, So, oh, I'm sure humans thought a lot about evolution, and they probably had like very complicated views in it, and that we just don't acknowledge, because like the problem with the whole history of evolution is that it's very Western. It's a history of the Western world. It's not a history of like evolution as a concept. I've never heard of it specifically, but it sounds like fucking eugenics shit, like all those fucking things. Like, I genuinely don't even understand why you care about the height of your child. Like, I mean, I can maybe understand if they're like 3 feet tall. That's kind of challenging, right? But like, who cares if you're a man who's 5'7"? That's not that bad. Like, grow up. Like, that's not the reason why women aren't talking to you. And you're not cursing your son by, not checking. Like, it's fucking stupid. Like, I mean, I think 23andMe is, like, super fucking racist when you think about it. Like, it's literally telling you this is how people's genes are organized. And it's not even based on, like, even remotely scientific research. Like, it's literally just a private company that's pulling this shit. And it's just weird to me that, like, it's weird to me that people don't call it out more often for being racist. Like, I'm not saying that DNA tests are all racist, but it's like, when you think about what 23andMe was like kind of selling itself as, it was kind of like a weird like racism machine. Yeah, I agree. That's a really good point, Dragonif. Like, that's really what makes it so powerful, and like what's so interesting about it is that it's so intimately connected with like how we exist. It's such a like rigorous like exploration of how like anything living comes into existence, and even arguably many non-living things. Health is a complicated thing though. Like, like I look at it like this. First off, like, there's a lot of differences that people just naturally have that are not necessarily unhealthy, but are labeled as unhealthy for one reason or another, right? And we have to be really careful with that. Like, I'm not gonna be like one of those people who like fixates on like statistics about like overweight people, but I will just say that like I think that part of the problem with how we discuss like certain kinds of diseases that are associated with obesity is that people just assume they happen because of obesity, which has implications for both obese people and also like people who are like not obese. So like first off, like any sort of qualifier that has nothing to do with like an actual genetic marker that actually produces like verifiably like a certain kind of illness is like already kind of on thin ice, especially something like height or something like that, right? Because you can like use like for certain illnesses, you there are like genetic markers that you can see that actually produce them, because like you got to remember that a lot of how these illnesses work is that they progressively make machines that in the human body that just cause it to break down over time, right, faster than what would be expected, or like causes parts of it to break down, like maybe like a muscular atrophy kind of thing, right? And that's part of the reason why they're so difficult to treat. Like they can be treated with like genetic gene therapy and stuff, but it depends on the illness and it depends on like what the actual research produces. Yeah, like it's like it's like weird, and the thing is that like something that a lot of people don't, I think, like what's a good like way to analyze like at least like kind of like a particularly intense aspect of like what might be called like a disabled culture is like deaf culture. And it makes sense when you understand how deafness impacts like communication. Like these people are literally speaking another language that uses a completely different part of their body than we usually use to speak, right? And they have a whole history of having that kind of language oppressed, and being forced to learn how to speak like a speaking person, right? And yeah, probably. I don't know anything about like how bodies grow. I'm not that kind of doctor. I'm not a doctor in any capacity. I'm a Dr. Eggman. I might take a break soon because I'm starting to get a little fatigue from being too much of a gamer. But yeah, I just think that these kinds of like qualifiers for identifying like risk and stuff is like stupid. Like you don't even understand like what you're even like really looking at. You don't really understand how it's going to impact necessarily somebody's life. And even in like the most extreme circumstances, I think it's better to try to at least support somebody living with and struggling with an illness and like helping them survive. Like the problem isn't that we are like suffering. The problem is that we are making more suffering than there needs to be by literally not helping people like get better because of systemic problems. Yeah, dwarfism is different. But I did bring up the example of being 5'7", right? Because I was kind of leaning into the insecurity that a lot of cis guys have about being short. Being a trans man will make you realize you can be absolutely a fucking short king. You do not need to have height to be a man. That's for sure. Just letting anybody in the audience who needs to know that. Short kings are real. It's not a myth. It's not a legend. It's real. All right. I think I'm going to log off. I need to lay down. I'm getting eye issues, migraine kind of symptoms shit. So it was nice seeing everybody again. We got a few plateaus today, and hello there, B. I got to go though, so you better be on your way. That's right. That's what I said. All right, see ya, everybody.